What's up guys, Trevor here with Ecommerce Paradise. Today I'm going to research some niches, and before I get into the video I wanted to let you know I'm actually launching my new book, Build, Scale, Sell, How to Create a Profitable E-Commerce Business and Live Life on Your Own Terms, very soon. And if you want to get notified to get a free copy of this book, if you're not on Kindle Unlimited already, if you're on Kindle Unlimited you can get the ebook for free. But if you want to get notified, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/ecommerceparadise, and sign up for the free access, or get a 7-day free trial for our community access for Discord. And you also have the option for private coaching. But sign up at least for the free access, and you can do that just clicking here, join for free, and it'll ask you for your email address to log in. You'll get in, you'll have access to all the public content. And then I will notify you. It's coming up very soon here in a few days, so I'm super excited to put that out. But for now, just wanted to do some niche research. The point of these research videos is to find you some suppliers, because there's tons of high-ticket product categories. There's just like so many different options here. Like in this list alone, I list out 12 different niche, niche markets: home gym equipment, commercial fitness and rehab equipment, outdoor living, backyard products, furniture, custom luxury, tiny home, homestead and off-grid products, saunas, ice bath and recovery equipment, medical, dental and clinic equipment, warehouse and industrial equipment, office build-out, commercial furniture, luxury appliance and kitchen equipment, pool, spa and water features, and then also like some of just like recapping some of the best ones. So yeah, 11 different niche categories here, and then under each one there's specific examples of actual categories. So what I usually recommend doing is starting a store in one of these general, like kind of I call them mid niche, because they're not like general stores, but they're like not super niche down, like you're not just selling power racks. But like a home gym equipment store is really good. And then you'll have all these different categories, and usually you'll be able to find lots of suppliers and scale up. And so the first thing I usually recommend doing is finding, when you are just starting, is to verify a niche is going to work. So what you want to do is find competitors that are online only and that are on Shopify, and they sell multiple brands. And it's pretty easy to tell, but you're really going to be looking for niche stores. So you want to find stores, like if I'm going to research this right now, I want to find stores that are in the home gym equipment niche. So in order to do that, I'm going to make the screen here a little bit wider, and we're going to dive into it. So I'll just show you how to do this real quick, if I can get my... There we go. All right, so when you're in Google Shopping, which is where I want to do most of my research in, sorry, I don't know what's going on here. Here it is. Okay, here we are. So there's going to be a left-hand sidebar here. So under the left-hand sidebar, you can see stores. And the first ones listed are always like the broad stores. So just click see more and you'll see all the different stores. And what you really want to find is niche specific stores. So anything that's like home gym or fitness in this case, any store that's like related to that. Because the niche stores are the ones that are more likely going to, be doing high ticket drop shipping, and those are the ones that you want to extract brands from, because those are probably the brands that are going to be, all the drop shipping brands. So I see a bunch here that are fitness. And usually when you're looking for stores, you want to find the ones that have the category first and then the branding after it. That shows you that usually they sell multiple brands. They're like a retail store. If they have the branding first, like major, and then the category after fitness, and then usually it's either like a direct-to-consumer brand or a physical retail store. Just kind of an easy way to tell those apart. So yeah, let's open up Fitness Exchange, Fitness Superstore, Fitness Supply, Fitness Giant, Fitness Zone. All right, and once I find one store, I'm going to pull out one of their dropshipping products, and I'll find more stores that sell that dropshipping supplier. And you can do the same thing with all the different stores that we go through. Fitness Supply. Here it is, Body Solid. This is definitely a dropshipping brand. I already know that, Body Solid. But we'll keep doing research here, and I'll show you guys how to identify it. So, okay. This is Body Solid as well. All right, so let's go with the first one, Fitness Exchange. So first thing I want to point out is whether it's a Shopify store or not. So Shopify store is really easy to tell because all the categories, the URL is going to have /collections/ It's a thing that's specific to Shopify. No other e-commerce platform does that. So it's a good thing it's Shopify. We can pull a lot of information from them. They're newer stores. Or not like super old e-commerce stores. The next thing is, are they online only? And to figure that out, you just got to see if they have any sort of a mention of a physical retail store. And usually in the header and the footer, they're going to mention, like stores. So looking here, I don't see any mention of stores. So they're online only. All right, and then, so they're niche, they're on Shopify, they're online only. And are they selling multiple brands? That's the next thing I want to know. And usually they're going to have some sort of a brands drop down. If not, then just go into any one of the categories, like in this case, treadmills. And then you want to see if there's a brands drop down. There is. So here you can see they have a ton of different brands. So this is a high-ticket dropshipping online retailer, and they have a bunch of different brands, which means that all these brands are probably dropshipping for them, okay? Because they don't have a physical retail storefront, right? If they had like a warehouse or a storefront or some kind of address listed here, then you'd have to do more research and see. But for now, that's that. The next thing I'd like to do whenever I establish that one of these stores is a high-ticket dropshipping online retailer is that I like to type in /collection/all. And if it works, you choose by bestselling, and then you'll be able to see all their best-selling brands right here and the best-selling products, okay? So you can see here, their best-selling brand right off the bat is Body Solid, and then USA Sports, VTX, Concept 2, Supermats, Track Fitness, GoFit, okay? And then here under brands, they're gonna have all of them listed. So you can see here, there's like at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's like 15 per view. So 15, 30, 45, 60. There's at least 70 brands that the store has that are dropshipping, okay? So tons of opportunity here, guys. You can basically extract this entire list of brands, build a store out that kind of looks like this, and just make some demo products. You can just use ChatGPT to make the product listings, create the images, and make them look like it's your own private label brand or something like that. Just keep it super simple, only a few products per category. Get it nice looking, professional, like this. Go check out our website. We got links to all the different resources you need. If you need a Shopify store, we have a link to a deal that gets you $1 for the per month for the first 3 months. So you have plenty of time to build this store out. So definitely go there and check that out, and you get 3 days for free on top of that. Also, the best Shopify themes are by Out of the Sandbox that I recommend, and my favorite one is the Superstore theme. But there are free themes in Shopify that work just as well, and this is a good example of one. It's a free theme called Dawn. But yeah, I do recommend if you want to make your store really, professional, is to use a Superstore theme. Also, you can get your domain registered on Namecheap. Just come up with something similar to your competitors, right here at Fitness Exchange, so Fitness Direct, Fitness City, Fitness Paradise, whatever, something online retail-y. And then Namecheap will have them for $7. Okay, that's why I recommend them. Google Workspace works great for your professional email address. So you want like sales at or support at, fitnessexchange.com. You set that up with Google Workspace, $7 a month with our link. For the phone system, because you want to do phones, you can have like a Google Voice number or something for free, but you can get an 800 number with Grasshopper and look super professional for $15 a month. Okay, so that's another option. Also, I recommend forming an LLC for your business. It's a really good idea to protect your assets if you have any. LegalZoom is my recommended partner there. $0 plus state filing fees, so it's a good idea. Look into filing in South Dakota. Nowadays, it's difficult to get seller's permits with Wyoming, so South Dakota is now my recommended state to file in. A bunch of other stuff here. Traveling mailbox is good for virtual mailbox addresses. You can also get one with LegalZoom, I believe. And then, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, go check that out, guys. But super easy. So that's a ton of brands here. And this is the kind of stuff I talk about in my book. It goes over basically everything you need to build one of these stores. And then on top of that, it talks about everything you're going to need in order to scale. So it's like you build, you launch, you just turn on ads basically, and then you scale. And you're going to start getting some sales as long as you're, following my systems. And in Patreon, I have a whole course breakdown on how to set up, your ads, how to set up Google Merchant Center, how to set up, your basically your entire business from start to from scratch to launch and scale it. And it's called my High Ticket Ecom Masterclass. Normally $500, but included with membership. So, tons of modules here, hours and hours and hours of videos that shows you how to do stuff over the shoulder. But yeah, it's basically pretty simple stuff. You just have to build your store out. You get suppliers. You upload the products. And using AI these days, it's really easy to do that. And you can then work on your CRO, conversion optimization, ads, SEO strategies, customer service and stuff like that. And obviously, you want to take care of your customers and close sales and stuff like that. It goes over how to build your store so it's ready to sell, because these stores can sell for 2 to 4x the annual profit. Right, it really just depends on like a lot of different factors, but that's the coolest thing about these stores is that they are assets that you can sell. So let's say you get it to like 150, 200,000 a month in sales, which isn't that hard to do for high ticket dropshipping, and you can sell it for like, a few $100,000 or something like that at that point. So it's pretty cool. And obviously I talk about like location independence and, how to, live abroad and all that, which is one of the main reasons why people start these kinds of stores. But definitely check out this book, guys, and get into the Patreon for free. Here's a quick tip too. What I was talking about earlier was once you find one of these competitors and you take their best-selling product, these all say pickup only, which is odd, but let's see if I can find one of like their best-selling high-ticket products. And I'm sure the way these become high ticket is by buying them in sets, and so that's kind of one of those things to think about. But let's see here. Let's get down into their best sellers a bit. Let's find the products that are like, here we go. So Bodycraft Pro Functional Trainer, $25.99. Great example. So once you find a store that's, it's doing high ticket dropshipping, what you can do is take any one of their brands and take the entire product name, Bodycraft HFT Pro Functional Trainer, include the SKU number if it's there, and it's right here. You can copy and then go back to Google Shopping and just type that into Google Shopping. Because what these stores do is they'll bid a lot higher usually on these product specific keywords. And then you can go and you can see, okay, how many other places are actually dropshipping this that I didn't pull up in the first, go. And you can look at, first place fitness equipment, like stores you didn't see before, and, get some idea as to how many competitors there are in this niche. And, every supplier is going to have a different amount of competitors. So it's not just like by niche, but it's definitely by supplier and even specific products. This place has a physical location, looks like, so I would skip that. But yeah, you definitely want to like take into consideration also your expertise in the niche, because if you love going to the gym, so you know all about gym products, you know what kind of product specific people are going to need for their lifestyle and whatnot, that's a great niche for you, because you're going to have to take these phone calls and you're going to have to take sales calls and basically find the right product for that person's needs. And you want to sound professional and all that, so don't choose a niche that you have no idea about unless you're willing to either learn about it or train somebody and train them on it, because if you just go out and you hire like a Filipino for $3 an hour to do your customer service for you, and they know nothing about the products, even if they're using ChatGPT, they're going to be really slow and they're going to sound unprofessional. So it's just a good idea in the very beginning, when you don't have a ton of experience with like hiring and training staff, is to choose a niche that you're really, really passionate and experienced in. Okay, so this is really good for anybody who's like into gym equipment and stuff like that. Maybe if you're really specifically like a cyclist and you love bikes, you can sell e-bikes. You really got to know about these things though. They're super complex. You got motors, you got batteries, you got controllers and switches, and you got all sorts of brakes and tires and wheels and spokes and seats and there's tons of different parts to these products. So don't just go out there and start selling some random thing that looks cool that you think is profitable, and you know nothing about it, because you're going to sound like like a noob, like you don't know what you're talking about, and then it's going to be difficult for you to provide service after the sale, because people are going to be like, how do I use this thing? How does it work? I have no idea. Let me talk to the supplier. And it's gonna make you sound unprofessional. You want to sound professional. So choose a product category you have some experience with, you have some passion, you want to learn about. And then, when you talk to suppliers, they're going to want to make sure that you're the type of person, because, when it comes down to this stuff, you're taking a big risk with this business, okay? You have to process the transactions. You're the one taking payments. So if your customers are upset with you, or they don't get their product right, or something's wrong with it and they want to return it, you're the one that's, going to have to end up paying for that, right? You're the retailer, okay? So you can't put all the pressure on the supplier to do that for you. So you really got to learn about the product categories. You got to learn about the brands and all that. Any retailer has to deal with this kind of stuff. It's called reverse logistics. There's going to be returns. There's going to be defects. There's going to be shipping damage. Sometimes people file chargebacks randomly and won't even tell you about it. So just know that you got to have some capital reserves to run these business properly. Get into it, knowing what you're getting into. Have some, high limit credit cards ready so that you're not like really cash strapped when you get some, chargebacks or whatever disputes. And you can do great with this business model and make a lot of money and all that, but you got to be willing to do the work it takes to run it on a daily basis. Okay, so just keep that in mind, guys. But yeah, if you want more help, definitely get into the Patreon for free. You're going to get notified about my book launch. You get this book for free. You can read it through, get some great ideas, and just work on your business. It's going to help you a lot. And I'm super excited to help you as well. And if you're in Patreon and you sign up for the coaching, you'll get private coaching directly with me. So I'm super excited to help you guys with that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys, and see you in the next video. Take care.